lecture we are going to discuss about unit number 2, that is error control coding. So we begin with the first topic, that is a linear block code. Objective of this unit: to study different coding techniques that are used in communication, to discuss basically three major coding technique, that is a LBC, cyclic and a convolution code, and then we are going to solve some numerical based on LBC, cyclic code and a convolution code. Content of this particular unit is: first topic is a linear block code, second one is a CRC, that is a cyclic redundancy check code and the syndrome detection, third topic is a convolution code, next one is a Viterbi algorithm for detection of a convolution code, and the last topic from this particular unit is a error control system. Under that we are going to study about the FEC, forward error checking code, then ARQ stop and wait, hybrid ARQ, go back and end selective repeat. So we are going to discuss about this all types of code in this particular unit. Now to begin with, what is the definition of a error control coding? So why we go for error control coding? The purpose of error control coding is to enable the receiver to detect or to even correct the errors by introducing some redundancy in the data to be transmitted. So here what we are doing now, whatever data we need to transfer, we add some bit, or we are adding some check bit along with that particular message bit, and that bits are called as a redundancy bits. So based on that mechanism we are having two types of code. First one is a block coding and second one is a convolution coding. So first we begin with the linear block code. So what are the points which we are going to discuss under linear block code? First one is the introduction, then linear block code, generator matrix, systematic encoding, parity check matrix, syndrome and the error detection, minimum distance of a block code, application and the advantages and the disadvantages. So in this particular lecture we are going to focus completely on a linear block code, and we are going to discuss about each one of this topic in a detail. So before starting with the actual lecture, few terminology must be known to each and every student. The first terminology is a code word. The code word is the encoded block of a bit. As already seen, it contains message bit and a parity or a redundancy bit. Second one is a code rate. The code rate is defined as the ratio of number of message bit to the total number of bits in a code word. So it is given by R. R is equals to K divided by N, when K indicates the number of message bits and N indicates the number of bits present in a code word. Last point is code efficiency. The code efficiency is defined as a ratio of a message bit to the number of transmitted bits per block. It is given by K upon N. Then what is linear block code? So this is a representation of a linear block code. This is your linear block encoder. So what we are doing in a linear block encoder, here your input signal is a message bit which is represented or which is having a size of a K bits. Now this K bits is passed to the encoder. In encoder we are adding some redundancy bit or some parity bits are added to it, and after that we are getting a code word. The size of that code word is given by N. So N is a size of a code word, K is a size of message bit. So therefore it is also called as a N by K block codes. So this is a generalized representation of a block code, that is N by K. So where N indicates the size of a code word after encoding, and K indicates the size of a message bit. So why linear? A code is a linear if the mod 2 sum of a two code word is also a code word. Therefore it is called as a linear code. This is a representation of a linear code. Here the N code word symbol can take 2 raised to N possible values. From that we select 2 raised to K code words to form the code. A block code is said to be useful when there is 1-to-1 mapping between message M and its code word S as shown in above. Now this generator matrix is used for generating the code word, or this is generator matrix is used for representation of a linear block code. So all code word can be obtained as a linear combinations of a basic vectors. The basic vectors can be designed as G1, G2, G3 up to Gk. For a linear code there exists a K by N generator matrix such that C is equals to C, size is given by 1 by N, it is a matrix, is equals to M 1 by K, which is the size of a input message, multiplied by G, K into N. So here G indicates the generator matrix. So for generating a code word, what we are doing? We are multiplying the message bit with the generator matrix. Now here we are not doing the actual multiplication. The multiplication in this case is a mod 2 operation. So that's what's shown in the here. So this is a representation of a generator matrix. Next is a block code in a systematic form. So this is a representation of a block code in a systematic form. So what a block code consists of? As we have already discussed, block code is made up of two terminology. First terminology is the complete size of that particular code given by n, and k indicates the message size. So this is a representation of a block code. So here k digits indicates the message part. Now the complete size is n. So n minus k are the number of bits or the redundant bit or the check bits which we are adding in case of a block code. So this complete will form a code word of a LBC, where one part indicates the message bit and the second part indicates the redundancy check bit. Now a linear systematic n by k code is completely specified by a k by n matrix G as follow. So this is your generator matrix. So how we are representing the generator matrix? So the generator matrix is represented into two terms. First term of the generator matrix is called as an P matrix and the second part is called as an identity matrix. Now how to find out the code word? So the formula for finding code word is equals to C is equals to M into G, which we have already seen, where M is a message vector and G is your generator matrix. Now here we have taken one example. Let us consider 7 by 4 linear code where k is equals to 4 and n is equals to 7. Now here the message is given by M is equals to 1110 and the G, that is the generator matrix, is given as shown over here. Now for finding code word, what we are doing? We are multiplying. We are taking multiplication of a message bit with the generator bit. So here we are doing bit to bit. We are taking a matrix multiplication. So here 1 is multiplied with a 1 plus 1 multiplied by 0. We are not doing multiplication in this case. We are doing a mod 2 operation. Now this 1 is mod with next one plus the 0 mod with 1. Likewise we are repeating the operations, and after solving all this we are getting the output, and that output is nothing but a code word. So the code word in this case is given as 0 1 0 1 1 1 0. So this is a way in which we are getting the code word. Another method for getting a code word is let M is equals to M1, M2, M3, M4 and C is equals to C1, C2, C3, C4, C5, C6, C7, where C is the size of your and C is equals to C1, C2, C3, C4, C5, C6 and C7. So what is your C? C is equals to M into G, where M is your message bit, whose size is M1, M2, M3, M4. Now this M1, M2, M3, M4 are the representation of your message bits. We are multiplying this with the generator matrix. We are taking actually the previous example only. So this is the generator matrix which we have used earlier, and then we are taking their multiplication. So by matrix multiplication, what we are obtaining? We are obtaining C1. So what we are doing? What is my C1? Or the first value of the code word is nothing but this M1. Now how to remember this thing? M1. Now what you have to do now? You just focus on the values which are present in that particular row. So for this particular first row, the values which are high is 1, 0, 1, 1. So if 1 multiplied by M1 means it is going to give you output as a M1. M2 into 0 is definitely going to be 0. M3 into 1, it is giving you higher value. M4 into 1, it's going to be give you higher value. So what is the value of a C1, or the code word first is nothing but M1 plus M3 plus M4. Similarly, operation is applied for the second row. So for the second row, which three values are higher? M1 into first is higher, M2 into second is higher, M3 into third is higher, but for M4 into 0 it's going to be 0. So what is the value of C2? C2 is M1 plus M2 plus M3. So likewise we obtain the respective values of all code word bits. We are finding out the values of a code word bits. So what is my C1? C1 is M1 plus M2 plus M4. Then what is my C2? C2 is M1 plus M2 plus M3, and likewise we find out all this value. Now for finding the respective code words, what we are doing? We just put on the values of a messages. Now in this case, what is my message? Message is 1 1 1 0. Means your M1 is high, M2 is high, M3 is high and M4 is 0. Now we put all these values in the this values of C1, C2, C3, and whatever answer we are getting is nothing but the respective code word. So just take an example. For first condition, what is my M1? M1 is high, we put here 1. Then M3 is again high, we put it here high 1. And M4 is 0, so we are putting it here 0. So the values are 1, 1, 0. But here we are taking which operation? We are performing the mod 2 operation. So what is 1 mod 1? 1 mod 1 is 0. 0 mod 0 is 0. Therefore we are getting the answer as 0. Now one must remember this thing. In case of LBC, we are performing mod operation. The addition in this case is a mod 2 operation, or XORing actually. So in this way we find out all this value, and this will going to give you the code word. So this is the second technique for finding a code word. Second one is a parity check matrix. So first thing is why there is a need of a parity check matrix. So parity check matrix are used for determining the error. So when G is a systematic, it is easy to determine the parity check matrix H. So the representation of a parity check matrix is H is equals to IN minus K. That is your identity matrix, and the second part is a P transpose. The parity check matrix H of a generator matrix is of size n by k by n matrix satisfying the condition H n by k is the size of your parity matrix into your generator matrix is always equals to 0. Then the code word should satisfy n by k parity check equation. So this is the parity check equation. We are using this parity check matrix for detecting the error at the receiver end. So what we are doing, we are multiplying the received code word with the parity check matrix. If my answer is equals to 0, means whatever value we have received is without an error, and if that value is not equals to 0, then it is said to be the received code word is having some particular error. Now here we are taking an example. Consider the generator matrix of 7 by 4 linear block code where H is given as IN by K P transpose and G is given by P into K transpose. So here is my parity check matrix which is already given to us, and we are using the G which we have already used, the generator matrix. So if you multiply generator matrix with the H transpose, here we are taking the matrix multiplication actually, and if my answer is equals to 0, means the received code word is a correct code word. Okay. So here we are doing the multiplication in the similar way we have performed in the previous example. Then the syndrome and the error detection. So syndrome tables are basically used at the receiver end for first detecting and for the correcting the received code word. So for a code word C transmitted over a noisy channel, let R be the received code vector at the output of the channel with an error of E. So this is the adder. So your C is a code word which we are transferring, and E is the error which gets contaminated with the code word. So at the receiver, whatever value we are getting is nothing but the addition of a code word with the error word. So EI is equals to 1. If your received code word is equals to 1, it indicates your R is not equals to C. Means your received code word is not equal to the actual code word which we have transferred. And if your error receiver is equals to 0, means your received code word is same as the actual transfer code word. The syndrome of a received vector R is given by, this is the formula for finding syndrome, that is S is equals to R into H transpose. Okay, so your R is a received code word, H transpose is a transpose of a H matrix or the parity matrix. Syndrome decoding, the generator parity matrix G is used in the encoding operations at the transmitter. The parity check matrix H is used in the decoding operation at the receiver. Let Y denotes the received code vector that results from sending the code X over the noisy channel. So Y is equals to X plus E. For I is equals to 1 to up to N, if EI is equals to 1, it indicates the error has occurred in that ith location. This E raised to I, this particular value is used for finding out the actual position of the bit where the error had occurred, and is equals to 0 if there is no error. So S is given by Y into H transpose. Example, let C is equals to 0101110 is the code word, be transmitted code word, and R is equals to 0001110 be the received code vector. So how we are going to find out whether there is an error or not? So what we are doing, this is my received code word, so S is equals to R into H transpose. So here what we are doing, the H transpose which we have used in the previous example, we are using that same H. So we take the received code word, that is this, we multiply that received code word with the with the H transpose, and then we perform their matrix multiplication with that mod operation, and after solving all this we are getting the value of syndrome as 0 1 0. So as the syndrome is not equals to 0, means whatever value we have received is not a correct value, and that we already observed. Here the transmitted code word is 0 1 0 1 1 0, and we are receiving 0 0 0 1 1 1 0. So we come to know that there is an error at the second position. Now in the next lectures only we are going to solve this type of numericals in detail, ki how to correct the error and how to detect the error and how to correct the error. So here we are just taking an example how to identify the error. So we take what we do, we multiply the received code word with the H transpose, and if my answer is not equals to 0, means whatever value we have received is with an error. Now the error vector, now in this case the error vector is given by 0 1 0 0 0 0. Now from where we are getting this error vector? We are getting this error vector from the syndrome table. That part also we are going to discuss in the next lectures. So how to correct this particular code? So what we are doing in case of correcting the code word, so the corrected code word is given by C is equals to R, that is the received code word, plus the error vector which we identified from the syndrome table. We take their addition. Addition in this case is again nothing but an XORing. So by taking XORing, what we come to know, ki, this is a error vector na, so 0 XOR 0 is 0, 0 XOR 1 is 1, 0 XOR 0 is again 0, 1 XOR 0 is 1, 1 XOR 0 is 1, 1 XOR 0 is 1, 0 XOR 0 is 0. So one point is very interesting about this error vector. This error vector defines you the position where the error is present. So if you focus over here, this one is my transmitted code word and this one is my received code word. So by this only we come to know that there is error at the second location, because here second location is 1 and here the received code word second location is 0. So we come to know that definitely there is a error at the second position. And the error vector, in error vector we are having higher value only at the second position. So we just multiply or we just do XORing of the received code word with the error vector, and whatever value it will generate is nothing but your actual transmitted code word. Then the minimum distance of a block code, these points are very important. So the minimum distance of a block code is given by a Hamming weight, that is a WC. It is defined as the number of non-zero components of a C. So Hamming distance, suppose this is your code word. So how we are going to find out the minimum weight? So we just measure out the number of non-zero components. So how many non-zero components or how many ones are present in this case? So 1, 2, 3, 4. So the Hamming weight in this case is given as a 4. Next point is a Hamming distance, d C by x. It is defined as the number of places where they differ. The Hamming distance between, here the example is given, C is a code word, that is 1 1 0 0 0 1 1 0, and x is equals to 0 0 1 0 0 1 0 0. So the Hamming distance between them is nothing but the position at which they differ. So we just compare the values in between them, and from that we find out how much is the Hamming distance. So in this case we just have a focus. The first value is 1, second value, in the second the value is 0, means there is a difference value. Second one is 1, third one is 0, again there is a difference, means this is your second value, third one is 0, and here the third one is 1, this is your third value. And likewise we just compare and we find out the positions or the places where they are different, and we take out their addition, and that will going to give you the Hamming distance. So here we have taken one example. Now we have to find out the Hamming distance between the C, that is 1 1 0 0 0 1 1 0, and x is equals to 0 0 1 0 0 1 0 0. So what we will do, we will compare the values. The 1 is compared with the 0, this 1 is compared with the second 0, third position is compared with the third position, fourth one is compared with the fourth, fifth one is compared with the fifth, sixth one is sixth, seventh one is 7, and eighth one is 1. So once we compare, then we focus on the points where the values are different. So at the first location here we are having 1, and in the second condition we are having a 0, means there is a differ or difference is there. Similarly for the second position, then for the third position, and then fourth position the values are 0 0 0 0, means they are the same value. And next one is at the seventh position where input is having value 1 and x1 is having the value 0, and then we add all this value, the 1 2 3 4. So how much is the Hamming distance? So Hamming distance in this case is given as a 4. Then Then last point, applications where we are using LBC code in case of communication. First one is a satellite and the deep space communication is a basic example where we are using LBC code. Then second example of LBC codes are in digital audio and video transmission. Then for storages, we are using LBC codes for computer memory, for RAM storage, and single error correction and the double error detection code. Last one, advantages and disadvantages. So advantages of LBC code is it is the easiest and the simplest technique to detect and to correct the error. Second advantage is error probability is reduced. Disadvantages of using LBC code is transmission bandwidth required is more, and the extra bit reduces bit rate of transmitted and also reduces power as we are adding some extra bits along with the message bit. So this is the disadvantages of using LBC code. Thank you so much for listening to my video.